Yo, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
I come back. Hi, my name is Tato, and Satan is not here because we don't allow Satan in this work environment. Thank you for being patient and waiting another week. We have an incredible show. We're talking money, we're talking rewards, we're talking cafes, we're talking one of the guardians of house music, in my humble opinion. Welcome to a new week of WOW, What a Week.
Wow, What a Week presents Fresh Money. Proudly brought to you by African Bank.
Audacity to believe.
Welcome to another edition of Fresh Money, brought to you by African Bank. Audacity to believe. Our guest this week is a biokineticist with over 20 years' experience. It was exactly 88 weeks ago that he was awarded a PhD in biokinetics. But as fate would have it, instead of assisting with prevention and management of chronic diseases and injuries through exercise and physical activity interventions, the good doctor is at African Bank doing the same, but for your banking rewards. Please welcome multi-award winner, international speaker, wellness, loyalty and rewards expert, Dr Nceba Hene.
Thank you, Fresh.
The good doctor.
Thank you, Fresh.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm great. I must say this is a great moment for me.
Yes, sir.
And as you can see, I'm emotional because there's certain things in life you dream about.
Yeah.
And then with time, they come to fruition.
Yes, sir.
I grew up listening to you on radio.
Oh, wow.
And watching you on TV.
Yes, sir.
And I always said to myself, I don't want to be a caller.
Yes, sir.
If I'm going to speak to Fresh, let it be about something of meaning.
Oh, wow.
And today is that day.
Oh, wow. Like the good doctor literally has tears in his eyes.
Yes.
So it's like a full circle moment for you.
It is.
Yes,
And many people wish for their dreams to become a reality.
Yes, sir.
But they never foresee that happening.
Yes, yes.
And that for me is that moment.
Wow, that is wild. Wow. But welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
How does a biokineticist end up in banking rewards? Like, because I know you used to work with the Springboks at some stage. Or were you tired of breaking your hands on them?
Fresh, I think what for me is quite interesting is that you got to live your purpose.
Yes, sir.
And my strength is I'm a starter.
Ah.
I started my career in biokinetics with the women's rugby team, the first women's rugby team in the country. And in that environment, it was just getting the best out of them as
sir.
players.
Yes, sir.
I then worked with Netball South Africa. I worked with the Sevens team, just getting the best out of them. But as you would know, is that you're always looking to make a bigger difference and
Yes,
a
sir.
much bigger impact.
Yes, sir.
And then the financial services does that for you as an individual, is to say, how do you make a change for people overall? And the nice element about it, biokinetics and rewards, the same.
Absolutely.
Because it's about changing behavior.
Yes.
How do you motivate and how do you modify people's behavior? And that's how I find myself here.
Now, you guys at African Bank are doing things differently. You're even winning international awards. Tell us about your rewards program.
Our rewards program, we're rewarding the previously unrewarded. That's
Okay.
what we look to do.
Okay.
And we reward them for their everyday banking. We told ourselves that, look, our people generally haven't been rewarded. And how do we reward them? Not for what we wish them to do,
Sure.
but what they're already doing. So what they do is the program you just join for free. You swipe your card, you earn points. And then you can get to spend your points on a variety of partners. And we're saying we are rewards that count and we make a meaningful impact in people's lives. And what is exciting, Fresh, is that people always ask, your name is Audacious Rewards.
Yes.
Is the program audacious?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm here to tell you that in the financial services in South Africa, We're the only program that if you use your card now, within a couple of minutes or the following day, your points are in your account.
Jeez, okay.
Because our thinking is as follows, Fresh. Our people are just battling to make ends meet.
Absolutely.
People get paid on the 25th. By the 1st, the money is gone.
Yes.
So if you give me points at the end of the month, I have to wait 30 days.
Yes.
What do I do for the rest of the month?
Absolutely.
And that is what we seek to do.
So your rewards are able to fill in the gaps where I just need bread this week. I just need bread. I just need milk.
And
You're filling that gap.
And we're filling that gap because we're saying to you is that your rewards program must give you the bread and butter issues.
Absolutely.
What is your need? So if you go now and swipe your card and you spend money
Yes, sir.
at your preferred store, tomorrow your accounts, your points are in your account. And then you can use the same points to buy bread. And what I'll amaze you is that with our cash, with our points,
Yes, sir.
you can even convert your points for 5 rand.
Oh, wow.
And you'll be surprised, Fresh, how many people are converting 5 rands. And so that they can buy something.
Yes.
5 rand.
Yeah. You can stretch 5 rand.
You can stretch 5 rand.
Absolutely.
So that's what we seek to do.
You won an international award that you guys are very proud of. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the International Loyalty Awards
Yeah.
seeks to acknowledge innovations, excellence within the loyalty industry worldwide. We're talking globally now. And we won Best Short-Term Loyalty Campaign. So which shows that African Bank is a bank that backs you
Sure.
and rewards you. And what makes it unbelievable, Fresh, is that African Bank Audacious Rewards Program has been around only for a year. After a year of existence, to win an international award says something.
You also hit another milestone. But anyway, carry on and then tell us about the milestone.
It says something because it's saying this bank is giving its customers what they need.
Sure.
And that is quite big.
And you are walking your talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most people say, oh, we want to make our program simple. Our program is simple. We say, hey, actually, we want to make it inclusive. We say it's inclusive.
Sure.
The judges said, we love this program because the previously unrewarded are being rewarded with this program.
Absolutely. People that felt left out, like they don't belong in rewards programs.
Exactly, Fresh, because what you got to understand and what you probably know is that most programs are tiers. You must be gold,
Yes.
silver, and all of those things. Now, for me to be gold, I must spend more money.
Sure.
Must buy more products. But Mali, I don't have money today.
Exactly.
So how do you get me to gold?
It's like saying you must have 5 years work experience, but I need to start working so I can get the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we say, no, use your card every day,
Yeah.
you get your points, and you see it immediately.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about for us.
Let's talk about the milestone. What milestone were you celebrating recently?
Wow. Again, our customers are saying, you are serving us well.
Sure.
We've hit over 500,000 Audacious Rewards customers
Geez, in a year.
in a year.
That is a milestone.
And in the last 2 to 3 months,
Yeah.
Fresh, we are bringing in more than 90,000 customers
Wow.
per month.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because they are seeing value. People are talking about it and are saying, well, we want to be part of this. And for us, that is quite exciting.
How do I get involved in your Audacious Rewards program?
So it's simple, Fresh, is that if you're an African Bank customer and you have a My World account, you join for free. You just have to activate either on the app, via USSD, or at the branch.
Okay.
That is as simple as that.
And then Bob's your uncle.
And then Bob's the uncle, you walk out, you swipe your card, and you earn your points.
Another big thing that is coming up is Savings Month next month. What can we look forward to from African Bank?
We said, look, in Savings Month is that how do you make it tangible?
Yes, sir.
And we will be launching 2 things for ourselves
Okay.
and for the customer. we'll be launching a grocery benefit. Most of our expenditure as individuals, we spend about 75% of our budget.
Yeah.
And research shows that most people, an average South African is spending 5,000 Rand on groceries on average, which is quite a big chunk. And most people are earning about 10,000, so which means about 50% is just going on groceries.
Yeah.
Now, next month in July, we'll be launching a grocery benefit whereby you earn back points for buying what you actually buy on a day-to-day basis.
Ah, yes. So basically, you're going to reward me for just day-to-day living.
Day-to-day living.
Yeah.
You buy a point, you buy something,
Yeah.
the grocery, you earn points. And then also another element that you'll be adding is that there are people who like to travel, either for leisure or for business. We'll be launching a travel benefit.
Okay.
Which in the travel benefit, we'll have domestic and international flights, accommodation, and luxury buses. And we're saying, whichever mode of transport, we've got you.
Okay, so if I have an account with African Bank, I can benefit from the transport benefit.
Correct.
That's dope.
That's so nice because now you book your travel and you get your points. Again, our philosophy, Fresh, is that you book your ticket now. In a day to 2 days' time, your points reflect on your account. You don't have to wait until the end of the month.
So you can book the bus ticket and tomorrow buy part cost with your points.
Exactly. That is the philosophy.
Yes,
is
sir.
fill that gap.
Yes.
Fill that gap for the people.
Carry me when my salary can't.
Yes,
Yeah,
because, I mean, people talk about having two salaries, right? Yes, that is good. But what do I do in between?
Yeah.
The bread and butter issues. What can I get?
In fact, I'd like to sell you that payoff line. Audacious rewards will carry you when your salary doesn't. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's recorded, so I've got it in the notes.
Yes, so please just let the record state that 25% of the will carry you benefit comes here. Thank you very much. But we'll donate it to charity, so I won't spend the money, I promise.
No. I mean, and that is what we want,
Yes,
Fresh, is that people must feel part of that inclusivity. And all the ideas are welcome to say, how do you make it better? Because
Yes,
we want it for our people. I mean, recently we also had, as a spend partner, we included PEP. Now, our people, we go to PEP.
Yes.
KFC, we go to KFC. Airtime, that's what you
It's
do.
a given,
Groceries,
yes, yeah.
all those elements, how do you make it work for you as an individual?
And what I like about you mentioning PEP being one of your partners is the fact that PEP has been such a part of our lives since childhood that I know people that are now in the middle class and even in the top 1% that still go to PEP to shop because it's part of how they grew up.
I tell you,
Yeah,
most of us
yeah,
grew up going to PEP.
yeah.
And there's an attachment with PEP because our school clothing, we bought it at PEP. When you first start working, you go and buy your bedding, everything at PEP.
Yeah,
And even with your own children and so forth. So it's part of our fabric.
absolutely.
And that's what we look to do for ourselves. And we want also African Bank to be part of the South African fabric. It must be that bank that backs you. Where do I go? I go to African Bank because African Bank backs me. And more than so, it will reward me also.
Absolutely. Good, Doctor, before we let you go, any last words? Either about Audacious Rewards or about African Bank in general?
What I'd like to say, Fresh, is that we're truly thankful and we're proud to serve South Africans.
Sure.
And we also appreciate their support. And they must join Audacious Rewards because it will be rewarding for themselves and their families.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you, Fresh.
It was an honor. It was a privilege. And check out African Bank if you have the audacity to dream and to grow and to be rewarded, and to find out how this man here, who's a biokineticist, can do for your reward system what he used to do for athletes and our bodies. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, so you're head of the rewards program.
Head of Loyalty and Rewards.
Head of Loyalty and Rewards at African Bank, Dr Nceba Hene.
This is
What a week.
What a week. Celebrity guest.
Celebrity guest.
Our celebrity guest today is a dude whose name is synonymous with some of the best curated DJ sets ever, like ever. In South America, his name refers to a fruit that tastes like a combination of kiwi, citrus, and pineapple. In South A, Lulo is said to taste like a combination of lounge, deep house, yellow-bone pretty boy, and a dollop of shy humility. Please welcome Skululo, Lulo Cafe, Maliwa.
What? I couldn't have even researched that myself.
That's apparently how you taste.
Yeah, okay.
Is there any element of truth to that?
I have not tasted myself. Yeah, no, I will need to interview them. We'll need to bring them here.
Lulo 101, because your average uninitiated person would assume you are a free stater.
Yeah.
That you're from the Val or maybe Bloem.
Sure.
Very few people would know that you are from Tsolo or that you have Transkei background.
Yeah, so my origins are Transkei.
Yes, sir.
So that's where the extended family is. That's where my parents live now.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that's like deep in Transkei. It's in a homeland called Embonisweni.
Yes, sir.
But it's just past Tsolo, so the town is Tsolo.
Oh, so when you guys go to town, you go to Tsolo.
Yeah,
Yo.
that's what it is. And Tsolo is also closer to Mthatha.
Absolutely.
So if you want to go to the city, you go to Mthatha.
In fact, I was in Mthatha about 4 weeks ago.
Yes, I remember
and
that.
And then my host was very, very proud to say, Lulo is my homeboy. She was very, very proud of that.
Yeah, so those are my origins. But
yes, sir.
Obviously, Sasol is based here, and all our parents went to work there. So that's how the town was formed.
So that's how you became a free stater.
Yeah, like so my dad came to work this side.
Yes, sir.
And we all just grew up this side. So I grew up in Sasolburg. I grew up as a free stater. Sasol is literally Val.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, like it's just across the river.
You can throw a stone and get there.
You're in the Val. So that's how I am sort of part of that community.
Fond childhood music memories.
Damn. It's strange. It's just like the song by Commodore's Night Shift. Because I just didn't understand why my dad was... Yeah, my dad worked night shift. So it's like, is this song talking about that? It was just a fascination for me. But the song was great. But it just had that connection to me. Like, okay, on a night shift.
Sure.
That's like the one song that's always stayed in my mind and meant something to me as a child.
And tell us about the household. I mean, what kind of household was it? How many kids?
We 4 boys at home.
Yo.
And my mom literally was, not literally, but she lived with us. But then my dad took her back to full school, full high school uniform, everything. Okay. So at some point, it was just 5 men in the house.
Yeah.
Eating from one dish.
Oh wow! Yeah. So basically, you guys were in a hostel.
Yeah, you could say it was a hostel setting.
Yes, sir.
So, like I said, like one dish, eating from one dish. Mom is in high school in the Eastern Cape, but we are living.
So why did Ma have to go back to school?
I think it was a decision between her and my father for her to
go finish.
Yeah, go finish, and then come study at a college here in Sebokeng to be a teacher.
Sure.
So I think it was like, and which is something I really admired about my dad, you know, to sort of say to the wife, hey, go back, go finish your schooling, and then eventually when I retire, you'll handle things. That's how I viewed it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now they're both retired.
They're both retired in the Eastern Cape. Some house with like a view of the mountain. It's insane.
That is dope.
I wanna go.
They're living like DJs.
Yes. Yeah.
So what is the dream at this stage? So you're in Sasolburg.
Yeah.
Dad is working at the refinery. He's doing a lot of night shift. You've
Yes.
got 3 brothers. What's the bigger dream for Lulo at this stage?
At that moment, I think for where I was staying, you can only dream of the music industry, but you won't even know
Sure.
where you would start. But there was always a music connection at home, and it came in the form of a few things, like one VHS cassette where we recorded
Music videos.
songs from Studio Mix.
My man,
you had to cut it when Fresh starts speaking, like, damn it.
I apologize.
Yeah, it was that. So I mean, they were shared. There were probably only two VHA cassettes where each one had their selection of music. So
Sure.
the one would record from a different show, and the other would record from a different show. So the connection was music.
Sure.
And then also my elder brother we have family in Soshanguve, Block BB.
Okay.
When he'd come back with cassettes from DJ Kori.
Corey the Groove.
Yes,
The
that's how I was
legend.
introduced to international house. International.
Dude, you know, I often say the likes of Corey the Groove, Ganyani, Josie the Monk from Tembisa.
Yeah.
I don't know if our appreciation for so-called international would be what it was without the mixtapes.
Yeah.
Because that mixtape spirit, like, wow. I was a teenager in Botswana and I knew of these legends.
I don't know how they distributed them. It amazes me even now because they
Yo.
were just on these clean TDK cassettes.
Yes.
And you know,
And if you had money, you'd use a chrome dioxide TDK
yeah,
cassette.
no, Chrome, it actually did sound differently.
No, it was HD
Yeah.
in an era of no HD.
Yeah. And for me, that was the dream. The dream was to be in music.
Sure.
But I didn't know how. So I've always just watched. And
So how do you end up in Bloom?
in Bloom, it was after matric.
Okay.
Like in high school, I did.
So matric happened where?
Matric happened in Paris, which is I was closer
Yes.
to Sasolburg.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's as good as Sasolburg.
Okay.
So in that school, I was studying hospitality,
Okay.
hotel keeping and catering in high school.
Okay.
So to carry it on, I went to Bloemfontein. It was formerly called Technikon of Free State.
Oh, yes,
Now it's
yes.
called CUT.
Yes.
I studied there. I went to study there hospitality management. And
So you're supposed to be a guy there running a hotel.
and the clubs happened.
Yeah.
Like I started.
And you know, Bloom has legendary nightlife.
Yes,
And
and
for years.
And for me, that was in 1999.
Yes.
So this is the time when you had just dropped. Glenn was about to drop.
My first gig in Bloom
Yeah.
was 98, 99. We drove in my little green Golf with my managers. We'd never been to Bloom before.
Oh.
We drove, we literally did an in and out trip. We
Oh.
drove, we played, and then there was an after party at some girl's flat. And then at 6 in the morning, we drove back
Whoa.
in my little green Golf. And I fell in love with Bloom then, and my heart is still in Bloom.
Yeah, because then the vibe was, oh man, Bloom was just on another level.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
felt like everyone is there for one thing and music. And my most fond memory of 1999 was when Channel O did an event, a house explosion. I think
yes, with Christos.
Yeah, Chris, Vinny were launching the album.
Yes.
They also had Glenn Lewis there.
Yes, sir.
It was
Yeah,
the most,
Glenn was huge in Bloom.
Yes, yeah.
Bloom and Lesotho loved Glenn. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
So it was the most epic night I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, since then, you guys just kept coming.
Yeah.
And every time I was just that boy standing there in fascination
Sure.
of what the hell are these guys doing? You know? And another memory was at Club Absolute. Christos is playing Moloko.
Sing it back.
No, The Time Is Now.
Oh, time is now, yes.
Yeah, I think the Can 7 remix.
Yes.
And they are the rest of the guys, I think Vinny, Kabzela is there. They're all standing around the DJ box, hands in the air.
Sure.
It was the most
Yeah.
like goosebump
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
of my life
Yeah.
in music. Yeah.
In fact, my favorite nights in Bloom always included Vinny and Christos.
Yeah. They were just
And there was almost like a cult following where you knew that if Vinny and Chris are in Bloom, it's going to be a wild party.
And Chris had that.
That ponytail looking like
I
Steven.
think that
We used to call him
gave him
Steven Seagal.
superpowers.
No, we used to call him Steven Seagal.
I think it gave him superpowers. There was no way. It just elevated whatever he was doing.
You know why we called him Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
Because we went to Miami for the Winter Music Conference for the first time in 2001.
Yeah.
When we arrived at one of the clubs, one of the bouncers like, yo, Steven Seagal is in the house.
Is that how you got in for free? Okay.
So we've been calling him Steven Seagal
Since then.
And then the ponytail obviously disappeared.
Yeah.
So Bloom, you finished school.
No. That's why I say the club thing happened.
Oh,
and
we flunked you out.
yeah.
Okay.
In my second year, I just couldn't continue. It was a matter of saying to my parents, please can I try something?
Sure.
I see what I've done here. I've
Sure.
messed up, but please can I?
So you failed even?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah? Okay.
It was bad.
Okay.
So I was like, please can I try something out? I've got this thing. And when things, and my parents were just like, listen, fine, but when things go bad,
Yeah.
you have a home.
Yeah, sure.
Come back to Sasolburg. And in my mind, I'm like, mm-mm.
A one-way ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know your Angie Kumalo connection. Angie Kumalo is a sportscaster.
Yeah.
Also does radio. Did
Yeah.
radio like years ago even.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that your love for radio is linked to Angie. Tell us about the Angie connection in Bloom.
I met Angie, my word. Like how I connected with Angie was because she was doing radio. I just was fascinated by it. But at that time, I was working at the Musica in Waterfront. Waterfront was still a passage then.
Was that the plan you told your parents you were going to make? When you went to music, was that the plan you told your
I
parents?
just got a job. I just got a job.
Yeah.
And after meeting Angie, she was my first experience of radio. I mean, obviously, I've listened to you guys and everyone, but my first experience of being in the studios with someone and watching them do it and hearing them do it.
Sure.
And for me, it was like, I need to do this. And she was just like that grace. And
She kicks ass. Angie
was-
kicks ass.
But at that time, like I think I felt like a young boy crushing on this goddess.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
what,
sir.
like that's what she was to me at that time. I was like,
That was like what Notemba Maduma was to me when I used to hear on the radio
there
pop.
we go.
Yeah.
So Angie was that. Like I was just fascinated by what she was doing. We used to walk long distance walks to just so I can be at her radio show to listen and see. She also did Sundays. I remember I used to join her on Sundays just to see. And really, it's been that. And then I couldn't see her for a while. And then when she came this side, I was just like, I'm glad you're back on radio. Like this is like now a continuation of who I've always seen you to be.
Sure.
And she's just too amazing.
So you're working in retail.
Yeah.
You're working in retail, life is happening, you flunked out, but you have a dream, there's a picture, nyana, but you know that, if all else fails, I can go back to Sasolburg.
Yeah.
But it's not an option.
Yeah, no.
So how does Lulo then worm his way into the larger industry?
So within retail,
Yeah.
well, there's two parts of retail. There's the Bloom part.
Sure.
In Bloom, I was a sales assistant.
Sure.
Who went from being just a casual working on the weekend and to being a permanent.
Sure.
And I think basically I became the trusted person at some point because there is not a musica that existed in Bloom that I didn't work in. I've opened up new musicas with the company, Figat Park, Mimosa, and then I ended up at Mimosa. So at the time I was working at Mimosa, now I get a radio gig at where Angie used to work, but Angie's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So I get to, there were so many parts to this. So before that, there was a guy who used to work with us named Dr Hene.
Okay.
He had turntables.
Okay.
I was like, you are the guy who's going to teach me how to DJ. So every Sunday I'd go to his place
Okay.
for about 2 to 3 weeks just for him to show me how to DJ.
Legend has it you learned how to mix in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then did a gig.
Yes. So I spoke to Shakes.
Yeah.
The stories are so
Sure.
intertwined. I spoke to Shakes who had a weekend show,
Yeah.
a mix show. And I was like,
Shakes,
Shakes.
Bloom legend.
Yeah, Shakes Kumar.
Yes.
I was like, Shakes, I want to come through and do this.
Yeah.
I just want to go practice. I just want to go buy a few vinyls. And then I want to come back and do this. He's like, okay, you have 2 weeks. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I was just at Doe's place. But already, the thing about learning something, sometimes you can learn something from just watching it.
Absolutely.
And just watching someone do it. So I'd already been watching a lot of DJs. Okay, they put it there. It means the song is there.
So you had an idea.
I had an idea. So learning was sort of like the practical part of things.
Sure.
So Doe taught me 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks' time, I was at Shakes' show,
Yep.
playing, starting off with what was that? The Moves. If You Leave Now. I remember that was the first song, an alternative version, and I played that 30-minute set. Went well. Parallel to that, I saw that there's openings at the station for presenters.
Okay.
And I went. They made me read a news bulletin.
Okay.
just to test me out. Yeah, I remember. They made me read a news bulletin, and I read it, and he was like, "Okay, we'll call you." And luckily, they got me in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they got me in. I started doing radio there. It was radio of a different kind. So I was
Sure.
I was in retail, and right after that, I'd go to radio. And at some point, it just felt like I've reached the ceiling.
Sure.
I'm not getting enough gigs anymore.
I need a bigger pond.
Yeah, I need a bigger pond.
Yeah.
And that's when 2004, I was like, to Josie we go.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you get to Joburg, and then what happens?
I get to Josie. I stay with my aunt in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
So, but Josie happened strategically because I just asked for a transfer from the Music Cadet to the CD Warehouse in Sandton.
Ah, yes.
Yes. There, everything opened up. Everything. Like, I met all the people that could sort of bring me to light as to what's happening.
Yeah.
I met Dumisho Masha, I met Ndu, I met Slicker, I met so many great people. I met Vuyo Jack, and I met Sergio from Soul Candy.
Yes, sir.
Because I was there as a sales assistant, and then I got promoted to being a buyer. So now you are dealing with record labels. You are
Now you're the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, I just had to be like, yo, Soul Candy.
Yeah.
I also do this.
I can also do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And really, it's it sounds like I had a plan for that.
Sure.
I didn't really. I was just like taking one step and just thinking, okay, here's all the people around me. What can I do with them? Or how can I
Sure.
take my dream to the next step?
Do you know why I believe you had a plan, even if you don't know that you had a plan? I firmly believe that every single thing that you do every single day becomes the plan, because it leads you to the next step.
Yeah.
And if you didn't kick ass at that previous step, this next step is not going to happen.
It's not going to. Yes.
You know what I mean? So often our plans are in motion. And we're not even aware that it's happening. It's only in hindsight that you realize that, oh, wow, this is my journey.
Yeah, that's true. I also guess we obsess with the fact that we don't know what the next step is. Sometimes you're doing this and you're worried about,
Sure.
so now when this ends, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Yeah.
I was watching Jason Goliath and Nicholas Goliath. They had a show last week.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how we become so obsessed with, like you're saying, the journey, that sometimes we should learn from GPS. That I know the goal is there, but GPS will show you the goal, but after that, all you'll ever see is the next step.
As soon as you start the journey, right?
Yeah.
They'll only give you that screen.
Exactly. And that often we must just focus on the next step, because we know the bigger goal. So let's not obsess with the bigger goal. Can we just get to tomorrow and to Monday and to Friday? But we beat ourselves up because we're not getting there fast enough. But we don't even have a plan for Friday.
I'll actually tell that to my food delivery guys. Because they always ask you, what's your address? I'm like, it's there. Just follow just follow the damn thing.
That time you're hungry.
You're asking me for my address? Yeah.
So at what stage would you say you realize that you are becoming a household name?
Ooh, household name.
Yes.
I think, okay, I got into Soul Candy.
I'm going to say it because you're not going to say it.
Yeah. I got into Soul Candy in 2006. And I mean, I was surrounded, I got surrounded by guys who are very supportive.
Yeah, you started at Soul Candy as I was starting at 5FM. I remember, yes.
Yes. I got surrounded by guys who were very supportive, who saw it in me better than I saw it in myself. Terrence, Giggs, Clive, Max, Brian Black. All those guys just pulled together around me, even Tulani the Warrior.
Sure. Yeah, but generally, that's what it happens even with girls. The yellow bone gets all the attention. So the guys are like, guys, we have a yellow bone in the team, guys. Let's protect him.
They pulled together around me. And I mean, I got in to rather introduce the CD side of things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I mean, Soul Candy was just vinyl. So I got in to introduce the CD side of things.
And things are evolving fast at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To also handle the mobile side of things, ringtones and everything. But then the guys were just like, we know this is what you want, come.
Yeah.
You know, and 2007, they started hooking me up with just gigs. Like Terrence took me to Klerksdorp, Giggs took me to Botswana.
Sure.
And Botswana, bro.
Yeah.
Botswana just happened for me.
And Botswana still loves you.
Yeah, Botswana just took off for me.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm at Fashion Lounge every month.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, we good. And then 2009 happened. They were like, okay, compilation, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. And the guys also pulled together.
Would you say that compilation is what changed everything?
It did, yeah.
Because obviously you are on a trajectory that is, you're in that direction.
Yeah.
But that compilation almost...
It did. I mean, before it,
Yeah.
I could tell that the industry is talking.
Sure.
It was the industry that's talking. So, hey, okay, there's this young man.
There's a new kid on the block.
Yeah, okay. But then when the compilation came out, like everything just exploded. In fact, to a point where I had to play catch up.
Oh, yes.
Because here's this song, Pure Surprise, and it's just booming. And at that time, you know how it was. Like they attach the song to you.
Yeah.
Whether it's compiled or not.
Pure Surprise becomes a Lulo song.
Okay. Yes.
The way Summer Days is my song.
Yeah, exactly. It was that, and it just took off.
Yeah.
From then on, it was just, I needed to play catch up. I needed to align the brand with what's happening with the music. People must know me, must know what I'm doing. So I think 2009 is when things started to take off.
Where do the parents fit in this picture of our son is becoming a household name? Our son now has a song called Pure Surprise.
I think they were just, I don't think they truly were connected to what's happening. But I think my dad took a bit of interest. But he also was just like, okay. But I think he was updated by my brothers, especially my younger brother. Yeah, because, I mean, he's been in the industry as well for some time.
That's Mawetu.
Mawetu, yeah. Yes. Mawetu has been in the industry for some time. So I think they kind of were like, okay, is it happening the same way?
Yes.
Or whatever. So, I mean, the only thing I need to explain, like, okay, I'm a DJ, so I'm traveling a lot. Yeah, I'm not going to be home.
And keep me in your prayers.
Yes. My mom was the prayer warrior for all that. So I think they just understand the surface of it. Okay, he's DJing, but the bottom line for them is that he has a job.
Yes, sir.
That's all candy. Even though probably the job wasn't happening anymore.
Sure.
Because at some point, Ricardo was like, bro, you're fired. Go be a DJ.
You're not delivering.
Yeah, he was like, no, go.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, like you can't do this.
Exactly.
Yeah, go be a DJ.
And we can't hold you back either.
Yeah. I think that's what he was saying. At that point, I was like, what? You're firing me? But he laid it out. He
was freeing you.
Yeah, he laid it out to me. It's like, yo, listen, I know this journey.
The writing's on the wall.
Go do it.
Go.
Yeah, and even Brad Jackson, may his soul rest in peace, he also elaborates. He's like, bro, you will not be able to chase this the right way if you're still coming here for a 9 to 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're Brad Jackson.
Man.
Sometimes you forget how many soldiers have fallen. And you'll hear a name and you're like, oh, flip, there's another soldier gone.
That guy was the god of mixing. It was like, You wouldn't even hear that another song
No.
has,
No.
has
Clean,
been
clean,
mixed
clean,
in.
clean, clean,
You're just
clean,
like,
clean.
how does he do that? Just like, how does he manipulate?
You know, technically, Brett Jackson, Christos, Vinny, Louis Vega are probably, and Kent are my top 5.
Yeah.
When it comes to just keeping it clean. Sometimes you're like, is the other song still in or not?
Exactly.
So yeah, Brett Jackson was incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the guys that just were also like, go out.
So in all of that, then you become a father. Let's talk about that journey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
The World Cup, baby.
Yep.
No,
I'm sure when you're making the baby, you're like, feel it, it's here.
yeah, that changed a lot of things. You know,
Yeah.
kids will change the way you look at life,
Sure.
the way you plan life, and the way you just like your heart. Just change your heart and how you feel about certain things.
Yeah.
And Sazi did that, and I mean, I was lucky that it happened with the lady that it did. I mean, Fundi was my woman
Sure,
at that time,
sure.
and it was. Everything was just seamless. We're still soldiering it together even today. Yeah, but yeah, fatherhood will change your life. I think you know.
So what would you say went wrong with you guys? If anything at all went wrong?
Yeah, I think just general life went wrong. I think I was also in a different zone. A lot of things were happening in my life, and I probably wasn't giving it my all on this side. Yeah, and when that happened, it was just a decision on okay, I can see this is not working for me, and I'm not doing my best.
Sure.
But the child has to be in the best environment.
So did you pull a Ricardo and say, I'm going to release you?
No. Yeah. I think it's what we call stage. I think maybe
Sure.
Linakshapuike stage.
Yeah.
You know.
Adoli doli.
Yeah. I happened.
If you could do things differently in that relationship,
Yeah.
and I don't want to dwell on it.
Yeah.
But is there anything you feel you could have done differently?
Damn. She's gonna like this.
Fundi, you're welcome.
Yeah. What could I have done differently? I think because I mean what I feel was wrong, I was just too consumed in the industry. I just got swallowed in at some point. So I think I could have been more attentive.
Present.
Attentive to what's happening to me so that I deal with it better, and attentive to the relationship.
To the relationship.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge, co-parenting?
Ooh. It's just that like Fundi doesn't give me grief at all.
It's beautiful when you co-parent like that, no?
I think the challenge was that, you know, kids go through stages. At their infant stage, it's the mom, and at some point, he wants the dad, and the dad is busy.
Sure.
So for me, that was a challenge. Kind of left me with a bit of guilt, but I think we made it work, and she was a great part of it. Yeah.
Looking at how dad raised his boys, what have you taken from dad's book of raising a boy?
Oh, that gentleman is a champion.
Yeah.
If there's one big lesson I always walked away with.
We must
from
eat
my
from one
dad.
plate.
Yeah.
We must eat from one plate.
That was a lesson too, you know. Like I cannot eat. If food had to come now, I cannot eat freely without asking.
We must all eat.
Yeah, like is everyone eating?
Sure.
Yes, and also just when something, and this was our fridge philosophy. If something is in the fridge and you know it's not yours, don't touch it or ask. It could be an onion.
Sure.
It could be one egg. Ask, like, you know, just the courtesy of finding out whose it is and whatever. Like I apply that a lot in my life. Yeah.
And you know, as much as So, like, even when the kids come over, when the kids are over at my place, because we raised them to always ask, I sometimes forget that.
Yeah.
So, my son will say, "Dad, can I have an apple?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're at home, have an apple."
Yeah.
But then I remember that, but we raised you to not, don't just.
Don't just. Yeah, and it really instills a certain responsibility upon you.
Respecting,
as you
yeah,
grow.
no.
Yeah, and I think more than anything is respect. So it's that, and it's also just looking out for each other, because growing up, it was 5 men in the house. Mom comes during holidays
Sure.
and whatever. So it was just like, look out for each other.
Sure.
In whatever. You know,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter you, the one who got successful and the other one didn't.
We're on the same bus here.
Yeah?
We're on the same bus.
Yes, we are. We are. And it'll happen for you, and it might fail for you. It'll happen for the other, but we should all ride together.
Let's go from a reproduction to production. Then you start making music. Let's talk about that. Foray.
So making music for me,
Yeah.
the strategy was that, okay, I'm gonna collaborate with people, with beat makers, people who are really like
Yeah.
good at it. Because I was like, yo, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna learn all these instruments and whatever. So I'm gonna work with people.
Sure.
You know, and the thing is, for me, that's how I've always viewed music.
Absolutely.
If you look at all the greatest songs that were ever produced, the list of people
It's a
who worked
collaboration.
on them.
It's a collaboration.
So I mean, when I first attempted it, I did it with Mino, boy from Soweto.
Sure.
Mino and Cypher. And that's when the 2010 project came out. The 2010 project was partly a compilation and partly original songs.
Sure.
So between Mino, Cypher, and I came out I Wanna Love You with Notende, came out Without You, came out the song with Mauritian, Keep the Level Low,
Sure.
came out the song with MXO, and that was such a like a learning curve for me that time, because the production happened between end of 2009 and 2010.
Sure.
Yeah, so
And it released quite a few anthems.
yeah,
Quite a
to
few
my surprise, because I mean,
dance floor anthems.
some of them I listen to them now, I'm like, jeez, that sounded horrible.
Yeah, or we could have done a bit better like here and there.
Yeah, but it was such a great process, because
Yeah.
it was a matter of, I've got nothing, but I want to make something out of it. What does it
Absolutely.
take? Okay, studio time. Okay, this. Okay, that. I'm at Cypher's place. A lot of days I'm there. Some days I'm at Mino's place. We're just trying to make something. And there were more songs than there was. Literally, I was looking to do an album. Submitted to Brad Jackson. He's like, no. no. There were a lot of songs that said, no, we're not doing this. And I think we ended off with those.
Yeah.
And honestly, I Wanna Love You was the standout one. I was like,
Sure.
this is the tune.
It's catchy from the first listen.
Yeah.
From the first
And
listen.
I remember even taking the CD to Metro myself for it to go get played.
Sure.
Yeah. And really, like, it was a matter of making the beat. It was Cypher and I just gave the ideas. I'm saying, I want something that sounds a bit samba-like and everything. And when we were planning, hey, who's gonna do this vocal? I just thought Notende, because me and Notende had spoken before.
Sure.
In 2009 about doing music. We were in Bloom actually for the Makufe weekend.
Yeah.
And then I was like, girl, this is the one.
You know that Notende singing at a public level started on my radio show.
What?
Because she used to do radio jingles for me with Cleo.
Whoa.
So as far back as 99, 2000, I think she was still in high school even.
Wow.
That's when the public started hearing her voice on my radio jingles at YFM. Yeah, so she's been at it.
Wow.
Now your project though also introduced you to the other side of the industry where there can be acrimony and back and forth. What went wrong or could have been handled differently with you and Notende?
I think it's the agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if even if they probably would have happened
So,
verbally.
so she's thrown a million accusations at you. What is the truth and what isn't?
I think it's the agreements and my understanding of it and her understanding of it.
Okay.
But there were no
Okay.
written agreements.
Okay.
But even verbally, I don't think there was clarity. Everything happened in the heat of
Sure.
creating music.
As one does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And at the end of it all, here comes the drama of it all, and I'm taken aback. I'm like, how? What did I miss? Go speak to Soul Candy. There's like just different stories, and I just felt like the hanging fruit, the low hanging fruit. Because I mean, there's so many people involved in this song.
Yeah, but the longest neck is the one that gets the chop.
Yes, and it was a bit of a hurtful experience for me, but I just felt
Did
like
you call her and say, let's talk
we
about this?
spoke a lot of times about it. Yeah, I
But
think
didn't
were
find
just-
each other?
We were just not finding each other, and it saddens me, even just thinking about the song, that it went there because it was such a groundbreaking song, and in reality, and just how I viewed it, it was a butter trade. There are two songs. There's one song that's on my album. There's another that's on her album, which is still a collaboration between me, her, and Cypher. And in publishing, she's 50%, Cypher and I are 25. And I probably might have misinterpreted it, or she might have. It could be anything. But I think it went so far where I just surrendered to it.
What does surrendering mean exactly?
I just let it be. I was like, okay, whatever.
So there's been no
happens.
resolution.
No. There's been none.
And then do you and Soul Candy owe her money for it? No money? Has money made?
Well, what money could be that? Okay, if we're talking money, as far as I understood, and as little as the money could have been, when we were creating the song, I paid a session fee, I paid studio fee, everything. For me, that meant publishing rights, she gets her full rights, which is 50%. But other rights,
You
because
own the
I've paid
master.
a session, yes. That's how I understood it. Whether I'm wrong or not, I'm getting a lot of different things about it.
Can you guys fix this?
I wish we could. Like, and I think she knows it.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think I've also told her aunt, not Nceba,
Sure.
that geez, I would never want to carry such a thing.
Sure.
Yeah, but I just didn't like how it went. But I was just like, okay, I'll let it be.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll let it be, and I'd never hold anything against her. But if there's ever an opportunity for us to speak, happily.
There's a brand new project that you literally did the launch party for last week.
Yeah.
Tell us about the brand new project. It sounds amazing. Yo.
So in the beginning of my career,
Yeah.
and just to introduce myself, especially here at the Capello in Newtown, across
Sure.
the road, I was more, I played lounge music, in fact. Like my DJing career got known through lounge music,
Yes,
besides before even the first compilation. So I used to play lounge music, and for me, that was my origins.
Sure.
So I've always wanted to get back to that. And with this project, after so long, after I observed everything that's happening in the industry, I just thought, I need to get back to this.
Sure.
And I need the right people who will understand what I'm trying to do. And it took a while to get people
Sure.
that will understand but we thought we were doing house music. It's like, no.
Yeah.
And now I had to go and show them that, okay, these songs that you think are house music, here are the originals.
Absolutely.
The originals are lounge music.
Absolutely.
You know, so, I mean, I collaborated with a lot of great people. And the best person that I've worked with in the past 3 projects is my younger brother. My younger brother is an incredible musician, incredible producer. He he understood.
Yes.
And he probably helped me give everyone else direction on what I want
Sure.
the outcome of the project to be. So Ocean View was a project that I've been working on since 2018. There were other projects in between it, but I kept doing songs with in collaboration with other people and just banking them. Somehow, wait, then this needs to be a special project.
Sure.
And I think until early last year, I was like, it's time now to put it in motion.
Sure.
And I pulled in a lot of incredible producers, singers. There were just a few, because a lot of it we just did sampling.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it is. It's almost like a representation of my beginning in the industry, and just also of where I am musically, where I feel like, I just want to shoot the breeze. And
Is that one of the reasons you even do your Sunday show on Metro FM?
and you are talking about some things I plan. Even
Yes.
that was not the plan.
Sure.
Because Ocean View was already in production.
Yes, sir.
But the Sunday show came to me. Through Metro, and it was just like, this is perfect, because I could easily fit into that show because it's music I've always.
I repeat, doors open when you are ready for them.
Yes.
I don't think it's a mistake.
So it was literally something that happened in unison by some divine intervention, but
So what's that? Serendipity. Is that the word? Serendipity, I think.
yeah,
It's the word.
serendipity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just happened to happen at this point.
Sure.
But it was perfect for what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ocean View, how many tracks? Where do we listen to it? Where do we get it?
Ocean View is 12 tracks. It's on all platforms.
Okay.
All platforms. In fact, I'm really trying to see if I can put it on vinyl.
I was about to say, please
Yes.
release a vinyl
Yeah, just
edition.
a collector's item. It's expensive, but I want to do it.
It's worth it.
Because it's a very special project for me. I've worked with amazing people, and I feel like it did more than I expected.
Yes, sir.
The feedback I'm getting is more heartfelt.
Dude, it's an
than
incredible
more-
project.
Yeah,
It's an incredible
I'm getting
project.
a lot of heartfelt feedback, and I'm just like, okay,
Sure.
this is obviously something special I've done here. And I'm already trying to work on something else.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. The radio show, where do we catch the Sunday radio show?
Sunday, it's 6 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Supreme Lounge.
So for similar vibes.
Yeah, absolute
Yes.
similar vibes. Honestly,
It's a kick-ass show.
my excitement is just to curate everything.
Your Sunday show
yeah.
is so good. It only makes sense when I'm driving.
It's
So
like-
sometimes I'll just get in the car and just drive for an hour.
yeah,
Just to get a smaller dose and then just drive back.
it's such a passion project because I'm alone.
Yeah.
On that show, alone, and I'm talking technical, everything.
And don't you find you realize that your entire week is almost consumed by this one radio show?
Yeah.
Because you must curate it perfectly.
Yes, and I'm not complete until I've done that work.
Yes.
And when I sit and actually do the show,
Yeah.
there are times on radio where you just switch, the music is playing, you just turn it down and you start doing your own thing. I don't on Sunday.
Yeah.
I-
You're fully present.
I sit there, I listen to the songs like I'm listening to radio.
Yes, sir.
Or I'm in the car somewhere. And that's what it is. That's what it feels like to do that show. Yeah.
Let's change gears a bit. So this month was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And one thing I've learned to appreciate about you, us being in a WhatsApp group or two together,
Yeah.
is your honesty. I remember there was a time where you felt you were not in a good space. And you told us in the group that, guys, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'll come back when I'm in a better mental space.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that one ability to handle your mental health
Yeah.
and your ability to even open up about it. Any other person could have just muted the group.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you took the courtesy of saying, guys, I am leaving the group. I'll be back when I'm okay.
Yeah, I think, and especially the world as it is now, with
Yeah.
the access to social media and everything, we bombard ourselves with a lot.
Yeah.
And we find ourselves so consumed in trying to be all of that.
Yeah.
And in certain instances, like WhatsApp groups and everything, you are in a bad space, but Fresh is excited about something that is happening now in his life.
Sure.
And it's not jealousy when you feel some type of way. It's just like, I wish that could happen for me too.
Sure.
But it sort of hurts, it's
Yeah,
that kind of pain that you feel when someone is doing better, but you are not, but not for them, but for yourself.
Sure,
Why am I not there? So for me, it was sort of like, it's I do that like in progression. Like I've just learned to sort of always afford myself some peace.
Sure.
Switch off when I need to. Whatever is happening around me, it could be a big deal, a big meeting with someone, whatever. I'm always like, no. I need to be in the right space to do this, and it has cost me money. I won't lie to you, it has, but it's just the peace is better. To communicate it will always be tough.
Sure.
And only because as men we were brought up a certain way.
To be tough.
Yes. We were brought up a certain way. So it's always tough to communicate. And also I've learned to not say things in the heat of the moment. It's hard not to, but it's easier when you've thought about it, and you can probably simplify your communication and be like, gents, I'm not in a good space. Can I just step back?
Sure.
And I think when you do that, there's no where everyone comes to you like, what's wrong? What's happening? Whatever. It's like where everyone is reminding you that you have a problem. So I've honestly learned to take care of my peace of mind.
Protect your peace.
That I protect it, because there's a lot happening, especially in this day and age. There's a lot that even us as human beings we've done wrong, or we don't know we've done wrong, but when it gets when it comes to us, when we are presented with such things, we tend to retaliate or we do whatever. But I've just learned that I need to be in a space where I can step back, observe, think, respond in a manner that will not complicate things.
Sure.
So it's honestly work in progression. I'm not saying I've nailed it, but I'm just at work trying to be a peaceful person.
But you also packed your bags and you left and went back
To the
home, as it were. Why did you do that?
I didn't go home. Well, I moved back to the WAW.
Yeah.
And that decision was quite tricky for me because it happened in 2017. I looked at where I am in Joburg and what it has done for me, the influences, everything that sort of has brought me to where I was in 2017. And I was like, I need to go back to some sort of originality or some sort of normality in my life. And I thought, I'm not one to say to people, no, don't go stay in Joburg, don't do this. But I thought for myself at that time, I need to move back.
Let me unplug.
Being a normal out here, solo, and whatever. And I moved back and I live in Vanderbilt Park. My childhood friends I hang out with. Like it brought a different perspective on life for me. And I'm in a better space, and there's always suggestions. Things are happening. I'm like, trust me, I'm happy here. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm not saying when it happens that I'm compelled to come back to Joburg. I won't. I'll do it. But where I am now is.
Yeah, if you can operate in Jersey and the rest of the country, but live in the Vaal, why not?
Yes. And it has also opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like, for me now, my goal is just to contribute to the industry that side. And I've just been doing that. That's what I've been about.
And then there was the issue of the leaked tape.
Tape.
Yeah. What happened there?
That's just a matter of trusting people in your private space, and they decide they are going to.
You know what I loved about how you and Naked DJ handled it.
Oh yeah,
was how the tape happened. You were trending. Hey, tape of Lulo naked in the hotel room. Wara. At some stage, we were even worried about you because you posted something very cryptic.
No, I was, and let me explain that. You know when I was feeling like I've let people down.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just like, this is not the type of people I usually allow in my life, but
Sure.
clearly I misstepped.
Error in judgment.
Yeah. So I was just like, guys, I'm sorry, but I know this is not me.
Sure.
And I needed to switch off for a day or two, to take it. But when you talk about how naked and I
love the fact that a week later you're naked on the radio. Naked is like, I see you're also a naked DJ.
and I needed people like that. And really, like, the people that really brought me back to it ASAP
Sure.
was Metro.
Sure.
Kina, my boss, and everyone were just like, hey,
There's work to
because
happen.
it was during the week, and they were like, Friday, you are coming
Yeah.
to the show. Don't even try and
The show goes on.
Yeah, the show goes on.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll come. And it was an iffy moment for me, but I was like, okay, let's just go. And everyone else, everyone else was just like,
How did close friends and family deal with
yeah,
it?
that's the thing. Everyone else just pulled together. They were just like, come on. Like, this is just someone you trusted and they did this, And everyone was just so graceful and so amazing about it. And it just sailed through that way.
Sure.
And obviously your friends are just like, revenge. I'm like, no, we are not doing that. It's just gonna escalate to a whole lot of unnecessary
Did she
things.
apologize for it?
No, I didn't talk to the person. I don't need to. They did what they needed to do. And for me it was just like, okay, that's who you are. Fine.
So what was the lesson from that incident?
Fresh, you can never ever like know what people are about.
Sure.
And even when you do, they become something else after maybe the connection with them ended and everything. Or what happens again is that when a certain something is happening in your life, it triggers certain people.
Sure.
Whether you did them wrong or not, you don't know.
Sure.
But obviously their reactions become that. But yeah, I just realized that, hey, we are dealing with people with certain reservations about you or certain feelings about you.
Or
And
intentions.
Intentions. And I don't think it was, and I'll say this, I don't think it was intended at that time.
Sure.
But I think something probably triggered it. Yeah. So for me, it was just
my other lesson is when we get to the room, put your phone in the safe.
you can never, like, I promise you can never.
Because next thing you're gonna wake up in a selfie.
And that's the world we live in now, unfortunately. We live in a world where everything is recorded, every little thing.
And everyone's looking for clout.
Yes. There's not a thing that you do that's not recorded.
Absolutely.
Whether you see it or not.
That's why hotel rooms have safes.
Yeah.
Use it, don't use it. Anyway, listen, we're running out of time. In fact, we are out of time, but I need to play.
Did we talk for that long? I feel like
we've done an hour already.
Ah.
And I need to please put it in your headphones. I need to play something for you. And I doubt we can play all of it because we are out of time.
Aye, man.
But let's have a listen.
What's good, big dog? What's good, Lulo? This is Naked. I've been working with you for almost 14 years now, and we've been friends for almost 14 years. And I just want to say to you that never let your passion for real music die. You're always researching, you're always trying to find the next best song, you're always trying to find the next best thing. As far as South African house music is concerned, don't let that ever die, because what you do is, you make our radio shows better than the previous show. Every single week we improve. You make my love for music grow each and every week as well. And just that passion that you have for real, proper music, my brother, I think breathes life into me as well. Like, you're one of the most solid dudes in the industry. I remember, I think it was probably 2012, after my first divorce. you called me and you found out that I wanted to spend my birthday at home alone, and you said, nope, not under my watch. I refuse to let you be home alone, even though that's what I wanted to do. And you brought me out to the WAW, and I forgot what I was going through. And that's when I learned to Guti, you are in touch with not only your emotions, but the emotions of the people around you, which you hold dear. And I think that's when I realized that you were a solid human being. All right, you got me going emotional and everything. And I guess, oh yeah, talking about working with Lulo, one thing that people don't know about Lulo is actually a very religious person. I remember he would pray before our radio shows. Every single Friday night, Lulo would pray for us, pray for strength, pray for the team before every radio show.
Pray for the ratings.
And it's like, hey, dude, Lulo, you do know that you are on a show called Audiogasm and you're working with a guy called Naked. I don't think God is going to be here listening, dog. But you've kept us strong.
Yeah.
So big up to you on that. So there's one thing a lot of people don't know about Lulo is I love my authentic hip hop, not just commercial hip hop for clubs, but I love proper underground hip hop. And Lulo has a vast knowledge of 90s, the golden era of hip hop music. Not just the commercial stuff, but the underground as well. The 2000s, 2010s, even up to date. Like, you can ask Lulo about anything. I fact check Lulo about any form of hip hop. And Lulo has that knowledge. Anything from old school hip hop to trap today. Lulo's always got it on lock. He's always on point. He's my personal music encyclopedia. And Lulo used to rap back in the day. So my question would be, Lulo, why did you stop rapping? Number one. Yeah. And with the vast knowledge that you have of hip hop music, why did you choose house music instead of being a hip hop DJ? All right. Anyway, thank you. This is to Lulo Cafe. We celebrate you today. You've done so much for the industry. And I love and appreciate you. Thank you, Lulo. Sharp big dog.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So what was your rap name?
It was it's changed so many times. But I've always used my name for anything.
Sure.
So my name is Sikululo. My rap name was C Cool.
Oh, C Cool.
Yeah. But I think there's been others as well. Yeah.
And what kind of bars were you dropping back then?
Guys, I don't even remember.
You're lying.
This is so long ago. This was high school.
Every high school
90s.
rapper has a go-to verse.
I don't remember. Oh my word.
What are your thoughts on that voice note from Naked DJ?
Naked DJ, man. Like, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing on radio without him. Like, that guy is the KRS-One of radio.
Yeah.
He will teach you.
Sure.
Like, even today, they still bring people to our show for Naked to show them how things are done.
Absolutely.
Like, the gent is amazing.
Solid dude.
Yeah, for me, at the beginning of Metro 2011, it was just for music. I was just like, just here for the music. But now I'm so entrenched in radio.
Sure.
And that's all because of him. He pulled me in, taught me everything, told me, you are not a radio person until you can walk in on your own, put together the show on your own, and run it on your own. And that's where I'm at right now. I really appreciate Naked. It's been so many years of greatness. And I mean, what we built with Audiogasm is something amazing. And even till today, it still feels like a new show. Yeah.
You guys sound amazing on the show.
Yeah, thanks. Like,
we have one last one. We're being shouted at for time.
Oh, we're being shouted at.
But put your headphones on again.
You're not going to let me go before you see tears.
Lulo Cafe. Oh, wow. Where do I start?
I'd say Mr. Gift of Cool himself, a guy who will be calm in any situation. I mean, a guy who has order. I feel like order comes naturally to Lulo Cafe. I mean, Skululo would rather remove himself if, order is compromised, and he's the most reliable person that I know, and his exceptional work ethic, I think, is what has kept me close to him, and having had the opportunity to work closely with him, even weekly, lately, I have seen how he sets the bar and never drops a day. I mean, this guy always shows up where he's expected to show up, and more than anything, I admire the brand that he has built over the years, and how solid it is, and it's a household brand. This guy is a household brand. The type of music, he has never swayed, and he has been consistent in his craft. So I really love and appreciate Lulo, and it's so funny. I was just thinking about how even our friendship started. We shared a joke, and the joke was that when I first heard of the Lulo Cafe name, I literally thought it was a venue. So the first time I met him in person, I actually shared that joke. Yes. And that was just the beginning of a friendship that has lasted for over 10 years.
Unknown caller.
No, we're busy.
And still counting. And over those 10 years, it has grown from those, awkward, warm smiles when you bump into him at gigs, and the long silent drives to Eswatini. When he discovered that I was from Eswatini and our friendship grew, he would be like, hey, when are you going home? Because I was a student when we met. When are you going home? Don't you want to drive down with me? And it would be long silent drives most of the time, but it was never awkward silence. So he taught me to appreciate the beauty of silence, even even in friendships. And yeah, the fun wild nights, Skululo will come out and have fun, in the most genuine way, and in the most safe, good fun, and I always just felt safe partying around him and enjoying, a good fun night. And the funny thing is that the mornings would kind of be completely a complete opposite, because now it's like sincere check-ins on how you're doing and if you're winning at life and how he can help. Yeah, what can I say? I just love his calm, caring nature and ability to look out and go above and beyond for the people he cares.
And that is a good friend of yours.
Yes.
Who is that?
Samu.
Yeah.
Me and Samu go way back.
Sure.
That's like, I told you at my home it's just boys.
Sure.
So she's like a sister. Me and Samu, she was still studying in the WAW when I met her. And we've just been friends for that long.
Did she change when she became Miss Swaziland?
Miss Swaziland. I met her like after. Actually.
Was it after?
Yeah, it was after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was that. I was like, oh, what do you do when you're Miss Swaziland? Do I tell everyone in Swaziland I know her?
Exactly.
Yeah, but oh man, she's been such an amazing friend to me. Like the thing about us, we've met so many people and made friends with them, but we've always remained good
Consistency,
friends.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just one of those people I have a soft spot for.
Sure.
Very soft spot. She's a great lady. She's very caring.
Yeah.
And it's weird to hear her speak about me like that. And I hate that people I think at some point she had a problem with the silence because I don't have a problem with silence.
Dude, I could sit silently with you for 2 hours, and it's okay, and we're cool.
Yes, and I sometimes I actually would drive in silence without even music or anything like that. So things like that, I know sometimes they bother people, and she was concerned about it at some point. I'm like, actually, trust me, this is the best time, silence and everything. But that's my sis. Like, we come far, and we do. Now sometimes working with your friends can always be tricky. But I took time. After a long time we've known each other, we've only started to work with each other now. Basically, I was just like, I need to put you into something that's not going to compromise you, because the nightlife is tricky for a woman. And I was like, I need to put you in something that's not going to compromise you, that's going to still maintain how dignified you are.
Sure.
And we're doing the Old School Tuesday, a vinyl night at Opera. And for me, that's now we've, like, I think our relationship as friends has just like gone to the next level. And yes, she's right. I'm the one who checks on everyone in the morning. Hey, are you home? Hey, send me your
we all need
Uber
that
trip.
Friend. We all need that friend.
Send me your Uber trip. I want to see you get home. Me and Sam go way back.
My dude, we have a ton of other voice notes, but unfortunately we're out of time.
Okay.
So we want to save them for part 2 of this interview.
It has to happen.
I have been trying to get you on here for the last couple of months, and you avoided me for the last couple of months.
What did I say?
You said when you are ready.
Yeah, I wasn't in the right space.
Yes, no, you said let me get my headspace right.
Yes.
And I remember I came to your vinyl old school nights at Opera a couple of weeks ago, and then you're like, I just flew in from Mozambique. I think I'm ready.
Yes.
And
I thought I gave it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to speak, and knowing that I've lived for so long.
Sure.
I've done good and I've done wrong. So I'm like, I want to speak in a good space, and I think because of the emotions that people go through every day, I do too. There are days where I'm just angry at life and whatever. There are days where I'm just happy with life and I'm at peace. And I try to always capitalize on the days where I'm happy with life.
Sure.
And I'm just happy with connecting with people. I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to acknowledge my wrongs. I'm happy to celebrate my wins. And it's such a great feeling to hear friends and colleagues speak like that, because sometimes you are just doing who you normally are. You are not seeking anything.
It's another day at the office.
Yes, yeah, and people notice it. So it was one of those for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My dude, thank you so much for your time.
Bro.
On behalf of the
Special.
industry, on behalf of especially the deep house community, I just want to thank you for your unrelenting push, for your consistency, and for your unapologeticness about who you are, what you love, how you curate your music. And shout out to you, my dude.
Thank you. Thank you for it.
In closing,
yes,
the Olympics are happening in Paris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And they've just added breakdancing or b-boying or whatever it's called as one of the Olympic sports. If they'd added a deep house category, who are the 5 producers we're sending to the Olympics to represent South Africa?
What?
Yeah. Quickly.
Okay, we are
Team of 5.
Yeah, we are sending Chronicle Deep, that's for sure.
Oh, please, yes.
Yes, we are sending Nasty Nerve.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm just doing this at the top of my head. We are sending Griffith Mallow.
Deep Essentials, yes, no?
Don't do that to me. You see, now we're going to go 6 now because you added your person.
Tim A. Deep, yes,
those
no?
Those boys, like Deep Essentials, they've got this drive in their heads.
Yay. Are you sending Poison? Yes, no? Who are you sending?
Yeah, Poison. You know what I admire? That Poison has found himself. He's found himself, and it's sounding so. I actually did give him a call. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you.
My average house set will have 2 or 3 Poison songs.
Yeah, and just for control,
Yeah.
Chima Music is the guy.
Chima must
anytime,
be if
anywhere,
anything, as the coach. He must be as the coach.
Yeah, anytime, anywhere, anything.
Yeah.
Chima's the guy.
True.
There are many, and they know. Like, I support so many people. I get introduced to so many producers every week. It's like, where the hell have you been?
Is it not amazing how healthy the deep house scene is in terms of support? You'd think you're at a hip hop gig, the way these kids are losing their minds. And it's like, it's a deep house tune.
Yeah, and a lot of people are keeping it alive, you know. A lot of people, like the Tequila Gang. I always told them, like, guys, if you guys didn't do what you did during COVID,
Yes.
I don't know what would be happening in the
Exactly.
deep house industry now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I just wanted to thank you on behalf of the entire community.
Thank you.
We love you, we see you, we appreciate you, and we know that you've only just started.
I have, there's so much I want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lulo Cafe Maliwa is about to leave the building. And yes, phones in safe if you come to my hotel room.
Please.
Please. Okay. And we are done. What an incredible episode. Shout out to African Bank for being a part of Fresh Money. Shout out to Lulo Cafe. Check out his brand new project. It's incredible. If you're going for a long drive, get Lulo's Ocean View, if I'm not mistaken. We are part of the Africa Podcast Network, coming to you live from Newtown Precinct in Johannesburg. You must check out the AM Studios. Maybe you want to start your own podcast. AM Studios are the venue you want to try. And shout out to Trevor and his crew at Pezulu Works. They do all of our cinematography. Shout out Otis the Flow Fraser for all of our imaging, and to our executive producer, Kelezo Modisa King. Email us at waw@africapodcastnetwork.com. Till next week, have a fresh week in spite of yourselves.